It's an evil world we live in.
Everything around us convinces us not to believe in ourselves, bro. It's like, nah, you're not that cool. No, I'm cool. All right? I'm cool as fuck. Matter of fact, you're cool as fuck. And if we're both cool as fuck, whoever doesn't agree with us, that's their problem. Oh, you know what hurt me the most? When I realized that people don't change. They don't want to be better, bro. They don't want to be smarter. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to be, oh, I didn't know. They don't want that, bro. Because the reason I don't have friends is because the last three letters of friend is END. What is that? End. And what is the first? FRI. And what is on the end of the week? Friday. Every time, friends always end.
Yeah.
You know what I appreciate? Family. What does that mean? I love you, no matter what. But then we become partners, which is more than friends. A real man is someone who's continuously developing himself in order for him to give value to his existence around him. And when you find a woman who does that with you, you become a better man.
True. Come to the Ivory Men Podcast. Today we have a lovely guest. And sir, can you introduce yourself to us?
I am the Blue Mantic.
The Blue Mantic. So let's just go a bit with your background a little bit. So where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
Texas?
Yeah.
You grew up in Texas all your life?
I moved to New York City.
To move to New York City. Then now you're in Poland.
Yes, Warsaw, Poland.
So just when you were growing up, just one question. Did you like to travel a lot? Did you like to go to new places? So how did Poland happen?
I met somebody who inspired me to travel.
To travel? Oh,
yeah.
Great. And right now, so what do you do for a living here in Poland?
What I do for a living? Yeah. You mean the way I make money? Or?
Yeah, the way you make money, what you do for a living, like what you're like 9 to 5.
Entertainment and damn, how do I create this idea? Entertainment and master of ceremony. I am an MC, which means I am the one who conducts any environment or situation or party or event in a way that allows the consumer or the customers and the people who are experiencing it to be guided in a way to understand the product or the value.
Okay. So would you classify yourself as an entertainer, an artist?
Yep. Entertainer.
And fully entertainer, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you been in the entertainment industry?
Since I was a kid, bro.
Since you were a kid.
Yeah. Even from church. I was entertaining, man.
Oh. So you're in the choir when you were you're in choir in church?
Go ahead, baby, go ahead. Yep. Ever since I was
Any instruments?
Drums.
Drums.
Everything was rhythmic. I didn't play organ, which is actually coincidentally piano is
it's an organ, kind of. It's a version of an organ.
There you go. So it's still a percussion instrument, and I didn't start playing organ and piano fully until I was around 13, 14.
14.
Yeah.
So that was the first time you started playing instrument, but
no, it wasn't the first time. The first time I started playing an instrument was when I was 12. 12. Yeah, it was
the drums. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can see maybe from the drums, because I know a lot of artists that start from drums usually end up in rap because they are good with the rhythms and the timing.
You see, that's actually funny, because even if it's good with rhythm and timing, what made me a good rapper is the fact that I'm a writer.
So you're more of the lyricist.
And then I added together. Yeah.
Okay, because
or a poet, I would say.
A poet.
Yeah.
So did you ever go into poetry a bit? Because I know. Of course. Yeah,
I'm still in poetry, bro.
Still in poetry, right? Yeah, because I know people that usually write poets or poetry, they're very good with writing. So what was the first, let's say, time you discovered music?
Ooh, you mean discovered?
Yeah, like the first time when you heard something and you're like, yeah, I want to do that.
Man. That's actually a very good question, because now that I think about it, it was when I was in church and I saw how one song, and I think it was Kirk Franklin during this time, it caused the whole environment to shift emotionally. And the song was good when I listened in the car, when I listened on my own, when I was listening with my family. But when you see the way people shift and they move and feel differently from just music, you're like, okay, I want to do this.
And do you remember what age you were?
No, I don't. I just know I was younger than a teenager.
Yeah, because I know most people who are into music. There's one time you remember where you heard something, and something just clicked. Like for me, I traveled a lot when I was growing up. So I remember the first time I was on a plane. I don't remember the record, but I just remember something was playing on the let's say the TV, and that was the first time I was like, yes. I don't go into music, but music has become part of my life. So you mentioned Kirk Franklin, like in the early stage. What were some of your influences you had when you were growing up?
It was always gospel from the beginning. Yeah, and then it became more hip hop when I started to listen to music while I was in school. And when I got to New York, then I got deeper into jazz. I got deeper into blues, and I got deeper into, let's say, classic old school hip hop. Because growing up, I missed that whole era. Because I wouldn't say allowed, but I wasn't introduced to it because I was kind of distant from that sound because it was considered secular music when you're in church. You don't want to grow up listening to what the devil makes.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, in order to be a minister, in my opinion, you need to know what the people are talking about and listening to, because that's the human experience. That's how you understand the people you're talking to. If you really want to minister as a Christian and bring people to Christ, you need to know what they're feeling and understanding and listening to.
Yeah, I think I buy into that too. So I was actually going through some of your records, and when I was listening to it, I kind of sense some influence of like Jay-Z type of rapping.
I can dig that.
Right?
Yeah,
so sure. Jay-Z, Dr. Dre?
No,
bro,
because Dr. Dre is West Coast.
West Coast.
Yeah, I grew up from Texas to the East, so like I'm kind of distant from the West Coast actually. I mean, you mean production-wise?
No, like style, influences.
Really? I didn't think about that.
Because I was just checking and I was like the flow, the cadence.
Yeah. Okay.
It kind of gives me that vibe a bit. Okay. So I was expecting maybe some Dr. Dre there, but...
I won't disagree, fam. What you hear, what you see is what you feel. I'm okay with that.
So, like when you want to write something, right? What's your, like, let's say your songwriting process like? What are you thinking about? Is it what you see in the environment that you're writing, or what's in your head? Maybe some type of feelings.
Subject matter.
Subject matter, right?
Yep. The most valuable thing is the ability to take the listener from the beginning to the end and give them something unique. What I mean by that is it doesn't matter if it's storytelling or even if it's a creative way of processing words, from poetry to rhyme to rhythm and rap. A good example is someone like Kendrick Lamar. When you listen to a song, you have only a certain amount of time, and most likely it's only 2 to 3 minutes. What can I do with words and a beat in 2 to 3 minutes to get your attention and keep your attention and allow you to enjoy that moment, or at least experience something, even if you don't like the song?
Yeah.
How can I get you to experience something?
Because again, when I was listening to your records, I saw there was a lot of inspirational messaging in there.
Of course, bro.
So not just like rapping on the beat.
Of course, bro.
So you usually consider this like you want to pass a specific message.
Of course, bro.
And what message do you want to pass with your music?
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah. That's the most important one. Is believe in yourself.
And why do you think that's important in this day and age?
Because everything around us convinces us not to. Everything around us convinces us not to believe in ourselves, bro. It's like, nah, you're not that cool. No, I'm cool. All right? I'm cool as fuck. Matter of fact, you're cool as fuck. And if we're both cool as fuck, whoever doesn't agree with us, that's their problem. Oh, you're delusional. No. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to prove it by doing what I'm good at. What is the most beautiful thing you can do as a human being? Be yourself, bro. That's hard.
That's very hard.
It's very hard, bro.
This day and age, especially with the media and situations happening.
Yeah, man.
especially nowadays, it's like even the friends that we think that are close, when you tell them certain maybe you tell them certain dreams you have or visions, it's quite hard to get a positive feedback.
Of course.
But though maybe it could be your capacity that they're doubting.
Of course.
But sometimes it could be you just want that motivation, right? Just to go ahead, and it's hard to get that.
But you got to remember, doubt is still fuel. Some of the greatest people that we know and we appreciate in this existence throughout history, if they weren't doubted, maybe they wouldn't do what they did.
Yeah, that's true. I think I remember it's a saying that it's good to doubt, right? In the sense that you're not doubting yourself, you're doubting the situation.
The situation.
Right?
Thank you.
Doubting the situation, and that brings in a feeling that yes, this is something that's hard and it means something to me. Because if you don't doubt a situation that you're going into, it means that you have not really looked into the situation enough to understand what's needed from it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So talking more about your music career, would you say that you are satisfied where you are currently?
Yeah, I'm very satisfied, guys. I don't know how to explain how satisfied I am. I can give you a very clear picture. I was 22, 23 years old when I quit my 9-to-5 job, and I said to all the guys around me, who I knew very dearly, at my work selling hot dogs in Times Square, I said, guys, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to really do music. I'm 32 years old now, bro, from 23. I'm getting paid doing what I love in another country, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the
I'm
dream.
able to look at my son. I'm able to look at my mom. I'm able to look at people I know from my past, bro. And not prove, but show them that the commitment of believing in what you want to do, it takes sacrifice and work, but it's possible, bro. I'm in Poland, my nigga, and I don't speak Polish, bro. How am I successful?
That's
Come
true.
on, bro. Like, you can question all day, man, but the truth is, like, it's up to God. But at the same time, God gave us a gift. He gives everyone a gift. But faith without work is dead. And what does that mean? That means it doesn't matter how much you believe. What are you doing with it, bro? I put in the work, bro.
Yeah.
My resume speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's true. Because when I was going through your videos, I like going through comments, right? And I could tell you, I saw so many Polish comments, and I was like,
what are you talking about?
we're in Poland. And because mostly when I go on YouTube, if I watch any Polish content, right, of course I expect all the comments to be Polish, right? But when I was checking your videos, and I'm like, you're rapping in English.
Yep. And they got a whole lot to say in Polish.
Yeah.
So funny, bro. I swear to God, I love it. I think it's the future right now. And that's why I enjoy also being here, because I realize that when you're put in a position and you don't have a choice, and you realize it's up to you, man, bro, that shit is heavy.
You need to, it's either you go hard or
you go home.
Yeah.
And I ain't going home, bro. I'm not going home, bro. I'm not finished.
You know, so you've been in this industry more than a decade, right?
Yep.
So can you tell us some of the challenges you had, coming up? There were times where you're like, man, am I sure this is what I want to do?
Yeah, it comes mostly when you realize that, for example, when it's all up to you. I quit my job, so then you become freelancer, which means now you're the boss of your life. You have to make your own schedule. You have to do this. When you lack discipline, when you lack the ability to be focused, when you lack the things that you need in order to succeed, it's harder. The second part that I realized that I faced was a very big challenge was you can't put so much belief in people around you, because their vision of who you are is their vision. They can work with you, they can work for you, or they can work against you. Those are the only three options. But you have to know which one they are. And I'm sorry to say it to a lot of people I love, but you have to know which one they are. Because when you know it, you have to accept it. And it's hard to accept because it's like, damn, that's my friend. But you don't realize, bro, he's working against you. Or you don't realize he should be working for you. He has nothing to say about the logo. But maybe he's good at putting it everywhere. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean there.
That's a challenge. So it's two challenges. It's one, it's yourself. How do you focus? How do you make sure you're on time? How do you do the things that you need to do? How do you, wake up, put in the effort when no one is telling you to do it? You got to do it yourself. Or the second one is when you have to deal with other people. If you're going to develop a team or your surroundings and your environment with people who are putting in the same energy you are, if not greater, to the vision, it's up to you to say, you work for me, you work with me, or you work against me. That's it.
Okay. So now, let's go a bit deeper into that. When it has to, let's say you need to focus on yourself, right? When you know that you're not at that level where you want to be, what are the, let's say, the key things that you need to really look into in order to... Habits.
Yep.
Can you tell us some of the habits that you think that weighed you down in your early career?
Of course. Drugs, alcohol, females, attention, social media. Like it's I can keep naming all the things. But you know what I can tell you? Meditation. It changes you. Working out changes you. What you eat changes you. And these are 3. I don't want to keep going, but those are very important. When I took 30 days sober, no drugs, no alcohol, no sex, no nothing. And this was before Ramadan. Everyone's doing holiday fun and drinking and having whatever. But when I did it for myself, I noticed the change.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't make that choice because their excuse is they need something to pacify. Like a baby.
Yeah.
To make them feel better about the world around them.
Yeah. Because you mentioned, exercise, meditation, and want more...
Eating,
right?
What you eat.
Yeah, because I think people underestimate the power of working out.
Oh yeah, they really do, bro.
Just going into the gym, because again, talking about myself, during the COVID period where lockdown happened and almost everyone ballooned up, and I stopped working out. I felt like shit for... it came with this depression, the lockdown, because you couldn't go out, you couldn't meet friends, you couldn't really leave. You were just like almost in a prison, right?
Yeah, but I have a saying, and I want you to remember this. The introduction to depression is confusion.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you were depressed, because you didn't know what to do.
Yeah, true. And again, going further, when I started working out during that time, and I got clarity.
There you go, bro.
I got clarity. I was like, dude, I'm wasting so much time just sitting down and not doing anything.
10 minutes of a workout is so valuable, because then you realize, damn, I just watched YouTube for an hour on my phone. But if you did 20 minutes of push-ups and sit-ups, that changes you in the next 30 days.
Yeah.
So then you say, okay, compound interest. If I do that every day for 30 days, not only will I look different, but I'll feel different. And then I'll commit myself to seeing how I can actually discipline my body. One thing I learned about the European people, and it's not racist, but it's historical. What caused them to be so focused on developing themselves and their future is cold weather. When you take cold showers in the morning, bro, and I started doing this, even if it's just 5 seconds, because I don't like the cold weather. But if you do 1 minute, 2 minutes, you start to get better at it. A cold shower in the morning, bro, changes the whole way you think. You know why? Because now you're in control of your body.
Yeah, that's true. Just side note, I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I was talking about my country, and I was talking about the politics, and I was saying that, you know why the government is so chilled on making sure things are standardized, especially in the housing, let's say, industry? It's because we have tropical weather. If we were in blizzards like the cold, I'm sure that
it would change.
Every household will have properly insulated walls, the heat pumps or the heater system, then the government needs to also invest in, central heating. They have to, because if you don't, you know what happens,
exactly.
Right?
When you got plenty of sunlight, how comfortable do you think?
Yeah,
exactly.
Super comfortable.
Very comfortable. When it's cold as fuck outside, though, it ain't that comfortable no more, bro. You better do something.
You need those heaters running up at full blast, right? So I want to talk more about what drives you, because there's some certain people you meet in life, and you're just like, I wonder how these people are driven. Like, they don't stop. And you look like the guy who doesn't stop working, right? How do you stay motivated, to ensure that you tick all the boxes and things that you need to do?
Because I come from a family who, and there's no disrespect to my family, because I love all of them, but as an American, I come from a family who didn't have the financial freedom to do things or create any value in their existence and their surroundings. My family gave most of their money to the church, but I sat back when I became a young man and I realized if my family gave that percentage of money that they gave to the church, as committed as they are, to our family trust, to a fund, to a project, to investments, we would be thinking differently and feeling differently.
True.
So my commitment and my drive is, I'm also a Capricorn, bro. Like, I can't do anything else but work. I love working. I enjoy it. My heart goes into what I do, because when I leave, I want to make sure that what I left here is valuable for someone else to take and do something else with. Not to just live and wait for God to come pick me up and Jesus to save me. Like, I don't have time for that. And I don't think God does either, because he gave me way too many gifts to just be okay with life. He gave me a gift to create more with my life.
Okay.
That's my drive.
Okay. So just picking apart what you mentioned initially, from growing up, your childhood, those that drove you. Now it seems like you're more driven on inspiring more people now. I think I got that from what you just mentioned now.
I don't know if I inspire more people, bro.
Because that could be a drive to you, right?
No, I don't give a shit.
Because
I don't care.
You don't care.
No, I don't care. You know why I don't care?
Why?
Because you can't even fucking inspire people who are inspired on their own. Like, I've tried it already, bro. I'm done.
So you can say
I'm done trying to spark people's life. Like, if you can't wake up and have an idea of what you want to do with your day, I'm not here to do that. I can just be. If I can inspire you, cool. But I'm not trying no more, bro. I'm not trying no more.
I think your music is still doing that,
When I die, they will study my fucking lyrics, bro. Right now, I don't try, bro. If you trust me and you're inspired by me, I appreciate that. But I'm not trying to. I used to, and I really wanted to. But you know what hurt me the most? When I realized that people don't change. They don't want to be better, bro. They don't want to be smarter. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to be, oh, I didn't know. They don't want that, bro.
I know.
They don't want it, my nigga. I hate to say it, but they want to feel, oh, I'm a vegan. Yeah, but guess what, bitch? Everything you're doing as a vegan is just as bad as the people who eat meat.
I think these days we have this epidemics of, let's say, the victimhood mentality.
Victimhood. I can't do victimhood. That shit is annoying. I hate it.
So no message to...
There's no victim. No one's a victim. If you're a victim, I pray and I hope that you find therapy to deal with what you've dealt with. Because if I was to consider myself a victim, I have a whole list of things that I'm a victim of. But you know what the change is? When you take responsibility of who you are and your existence, and you accept what is given to you, and you do something with it.
Sure.
I'm not a victim, bro. No one owes you anything, bro. No one owes me anything.
I think it's that entitlement, mentality that people. I think I luckily I'm happy that I met a group of friends, because I think once I had that
You're very
growing
lucky,
up,
bro.
Yeah, I had that mentality growing up that, you know, I was entitled. I should get this. I should get this.
Yeah.
But when you turn a
Somebody
certain
owes
age,
you something.
yeah,
You're blaming somebody else, right?
because I think I told this one of the guys. I was like, when I was growing up, when I was very young, I thought that somebody would make me rich. Somebody would just come and invest in me for no reason, just because I was stuck in my mind, you know. But like,
sounds like a dream.
Yeah. When you get, you know, 18, 19, and your parents start looking like, you probably should be moving on soon, then you start realizing that you need to work. You need to work. So now, where do you see your craft going on, like maybe in the next 5 years?
Education.
Education?
Yep.
And to be more focused on education?
It will be, naturally. Because little do people know, if you're watching now, everything I've written, when you read it in some way, it'll be a part of history. That's my goal.
Okay, so that's your next phase.
Yeah, because if you don't listen to what I'm saying musically and you read what I'm saying, it's literature. That's what it is, bro.
And how do you want it to inspire people? Like, what do you want?
I told you I'm not.
Because I think you are. Because
I don't even try no more, bro. I'm not inspired.
Well, maybe not indirectly, right? But
Okay, I'm listening.
If someone was listening to music, what's the one thing you want them to get from that piece of music or piece of art?
Man, read, bro. Study. Like, that's one thing I want to fucking, I don't know how to describe it. Like, when you listen to my music, it should make you say, what is he talking about? Like, that's what my music is supposed to. Guess it's been too long hiding in my dungeon, looking at these Black Mirror, invoking demons to do my biddings, opening portals, burning in this frankincense. Deeper I go, a cult freak. Like, when I say things like that, it should make you go, what is he talking about? So you can read it, and then you say, what is occult? What is creosote? What does this word mean? And then you start to study, and then you start to use your brain to be a better you. And you realize, oh shit, Blue wasn't even rapping. He was teaching.
Yeah. yeah, I think I need to get more on your track. I kind of did like some research before we had this.
You gotta read it, fam.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Just download the lyrics and
you have to, bro.
And go through it.
I promise you, it's worth it.
So you know, being an artist, it's kind of quite a busy, let's say, profession, right? So how do you then balance your music life, personal life, relationship, and friends in today's day and age? Because it's quite hard to juggle, especially when you have a very successful, music career, balancing it with life. When you log off,
I don't.
You don't log off?
Only when I sleep.
And when you sleep?
Yeah, or when I talk to my family.
So
or when I stay up all night and I'm able to just check on my family back home. Or if I was to say balance it, bro, I've learned very quickly how to create boundaries. I don't feel like it today. No, thank you. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how much they're paying me. If I don't feel it, I don't do it. I don't do it, bro. Because the truth is, when you start slaving yourself because you want to make money, then you start realizing you don't enjoy it. And when you don't enjoy it, you follow me, right?
Yeah,
it becomes a job. And when it becomes a job, then what am I doing?
Then you just feel like you just need to do it just to stay away.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, so I know now you can say this because you're at this position, let's say, position, right? It took time. So what advice would you have to, like, let's say, upcoming artists or people in the field, like how to, let's say, be more decisive with their music plan and balancing? Because you mentioned that you say no to certain projects, right? But this is because now you've been able to own your craft.
Well, not everyone can do what I've done, because remember, bro, I'm designed differently. I can promise you that my business approach to music and art itself, and the environment that I'm around, even the fact that as an American being in Poland, it's still really unique to my existence, my skills. But my not advice, but my words to any other artist who wants to develop themselves and be more successful: you got two things you need to do. Number one, be healthy. A lot of people don't realize the reason a lot of artists die or get sick or fail or lose or make mistakes or do mental problems or end up in the news is because they're not healthy. It's very true. Second one, make sure the people who are around you are valuable in your life. That's the second thing. I don't care if it's family. If they're negative, get away from them, bro. If you really have a vision of who you want to be as an artist, get away from your mom if she keeps putting you down. Get away from your girlfriend. Get away from your best friend. Or, if your best friend is your supporter, tell that nigga to come to your shows. Make him your manager. Y'all be partners. Like, that's what I'm saying. Make sure that you're healthy. Look out for yourself in the best way possible, mentally and physically and spiritually. And the second thing is, make sure your environment is healthy. That's it. Just like a flower. Think about that. Mm-hmm. If you're an artist, think of yourself as a plant or a flower. Your environment is very valuable as much as you do and put into yourself. That's it. I don't have advice.
That's some great advice. So no, you're not advising anybody. So this is not an advice.
Okay, I don't advise. I can't advise myself, bro. I'm terrible.
So then, how do you stay, let's say, close to your artistry? Because we know, you mentioned again that you say no to certain deals, but then how do you, let's say, keep true to your music when there's always like expectation for you to always release music? Then you don't get maybe.
It's not expectation. What I enjoy is, first of all, the business of art and creativity is problem solving. People don't think of it this way. But trust me, when you don't feel good and you didn't have a good week, what do you want to do? You want to go out?
Yeah.
You want to have a drink? You want to listen to music?
Yeah.
It's problem solving. I'm creating an environment for a person who has a problem.
Okay.
The way that I solve it is by producing something that you find valuable. The other thing is, bro, I don't have any pressure to create. I just do.
Yeah.
I don't.
So you're more like, you mentioned you're always working, so you're always producing something, so the audience is always getting something from you.
Yeah, because I'm bored. I have ADHD. Like, I have like severe ADHD, and I enjoy it because I've learned how to use it as a superpower and also realize it's my spidey sense. I don't know how else to explain it. One album, cool. 6 months later, I'm a different me. Like, I'm gonna write something new, bro. Like, I'm just somewhere else.
Let me just. How many albums you have again? I didn't really say. I think 3, 4.
That's a good question. My first album was called the E002, which is Kabbalistic, the Jewish Kabbalah.
Oh, yeah.
Number 9.
Number 9.
All right, follow me. There you go. You see, I told you everything I do is teaching, bro. Yasad was my first project. The second one was Sanctuary, which I did during 2020, and we were all locked down. Sanctuary. And then the third one is the recent one from last year called Fear Tactics. And then the fourth one that's coming out now, and I'm lying. Give me a second. It's June 3rd.
June 3rd.
It's called Necromantic.
Necromantic.
And then the one at the end of the year is called Altar.
Altar.
Which is a part of the trilogy from Sanctuary, Altar, and then Sacrifice.
Oh, okay.
I'm working hard.
Yeah, it seems like you have a theme going on with this.
Of course, bro. Everything is deeply spiritual in some way.
Yeah, I could
because
see.
If you were to ask me what kind of music I do, I call it contemporary, sacred, hip-hop.
Contemporary, sacred, hip-hop.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about it. You know how that's true. It's hard to define it with just one word.
Can't define it with one word, bro. It's hip hop, but it's still sacred.
I know you mentioned you don't let's say log off, but on a normal day when you don't have work, what do you do just to relax? Because you need that balance.
Sleep.
You mentioned meditation, right?
Sleep, bro.
Sleep.
That's my favorite. Like, log off. It's just like, goodbye, everybody.
Sleep.
Like, I'm gone, bro. Like, you don't exist. So, I dream. Yeah, that's what I enjoy.
So, but of course you have.
Or I'm with my lady.
Okay, with
that's
your lady.
one thing I can enjoy.
Okay.
Like, y'all don't exist. Like, fuck everybody. I'm with my lady, bro. We're chilling. We're eating food. I'm taking a walk. We might go see some.
Because I assume you have a tight knit of friends because everybody.
I do.
You do, right?
Yeah.
And how do you guys, let's say, interact? Like, do you guys meet up? How do you keep
We do,
that
but you know what's weird? I have a fucking tight circle of friends that understands me to the point where we could meet and somehow we'll end up still working. We can meet to enjoy ourselves, but we're always gonna say, yeah, bro, we need to still do this. We need to be working on this idea. We need to be working on this idea. And I appreciate that because the reason I don't have friends is because the last 3 letters of friend is END. What is that? End. And what is the first? FRI. And what is on the end of the week? Friday. Every time, friends always end.
Yeah.
You know what I appreciate? Family. What does that mean? I love you no matter what. But then we become partners.
Yeah.
Which is more than friends. When I see you, bro, let's work on something. That's my fun. Like for me, you can enjoy yourselves, you can have fun, we can drink. But what if we do that and we're making money?
True.
Come on, man. True. That's a really good combination.
And that's what we're
trying to do. That's what I'm saying. There we go, bro. That's what
we're trying to do.
I want to do that, have fun, and let's make money while we do it, bro.
Okay, so in still that area of friendship, I want to ask social media. Because I know social media has its advantages and its disadvantages. Because I remember there's a day I got back from work and I was quite tired and I went on YouTube. I went on Instagram and I started scrolling. And scrolling. Then I checked the time and it was like an hour or so. It was more than an hour and I was like, this is killing me. I just spent 3 hours.
It's all design, bro.
No. So how do you, let's say, control that area of your life in like using social media? Because you're an artist, you need to create and also put yourself out there, right? But when you're not working, right, how do you, let's say, get off that I'll say social media high a bit? Because it's always nice getting those likes and those views.
I give you the most simplest one. I have no notifications on my phone.
At all?
Nothing notifies me.
Instagram.
If I don't go on the application, I don't even know what the fuck happened. I can post a picture right now. And I still don't know who liked it. Unless I go to the app. So then again, it gives me the control.
Okay.
Because once I get there, I realize, I'm here again.
Because I'm thinking then if you don't have notifications,
what do you need them for, bro?
Because
for what?
You expect a different, let's say, type of message coming in, maybe some news.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about you.
True. Like,
are you creating content that makes you want to say, hey, what are people saying? What are doing this? So put yourself in my shoes.
Yeah.
Why do I give a fuck?
True.
If I'm not there at that time, I don't care. Because if it didn't exist and I didn't put it out, I wouldn't get notifications anyways.
Okay.
So I wouldn't end up in
switch off notifications.
It's off. It doesn't exist.
So
post or create.
You don't get business deals on like social medias and stuff.
Maybe Instagram DMs, maybe.
Okay. So keep Instagram partially open.
Hey, it's up to y'all. Because hey, if you hit me up, it might be 2 days from now. My email is available. My business number is available. My manager is available. If you want to be professional about it, man, look, the contact is there. That's my point. Don't lose yourself in social media, bro. Because notifications are what color?
I use an Android.
What color are they? They're red, bro. For everybody, they're red. It's alert.
Oh,
alert,
yeah.
Alert. Yeah. You don't need that in your life.
So switch off.
Switch it off.
Switch it off. That's gonna take a while.
No, do it now, today. Do it tonight, nigga. Like turn all of that off.
Because when I'm thinking about it, like to be honest, I don't really need them because when people text me,
I'm waiting for you to give me a good excuse, bro. Because none of your excuses are working.
No, I don't have a good excuse. True, like I'm thinking about it.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever else you have. If you turn off the notifications, what are you missing?
Nothing really.
Nothing, bro. You're missing nothing. I'm sorry. You're missing nothing, bro.
Because if it's an emergency, it's a phone call.
They will call you.
Yeah.
If it's a person who you know very personally, they will text you.
True.
If it's really important, it'll come to you the way it needs to.
True.
Turn off notifications. Don't give me no excuses, man.
I'm gonna turn it off now, Mr. Producer. Turn off my
Turn it off, bro.
So let's go deep into, let's say, a bit into Poland now, right? Which is culture. In Poland right now, let's say, I would say it's quite still European in that sense. Mostly
Developing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And do you have any plans to implement something with music in Poland?
More than music, culture.
Culture.
Yeah.
So what culture?
Because you have to remember, there's two things that I've learned as an American traveling to the other side of the world. What country are you from again?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. You have something I don't really have. It's called traditions. And in Poland, traditions become a part of their culture. And so their culture is influenced by traditions, which allows them, it doesn't allow them to be so creative to do things that are new or, outside of the box. But it gives them a foundation of where they're coming from. As an American, we don't really have traditions because all of our traditions are very mixed and developed from so many different ways and different ideas and different places. But what we do have is culture. And our culture over the decades, if you look at the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, even from media, it proves to you. Culture has developed or influenced the society around us, from style, from dressing, from talking, from language, from music, from all of the way we actually engage with each other naturally. That's the development. Traditions, on the other hand, in Poland, are changing by generation. So is culture. We are the first generation, in my opinion, to influence the culture in Poland with trust and honesty because they are understanding of what they're receiving culturally here in Poland. 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, what we're experiencing now wouldn't exist if it wasn't for international people or people from Poland who traveled, or even us, foreigners, coming to Poland. That's it. Because I've heard stories of how Poland was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be here 20 years ago. I was like, what? Hell no, bro. Like, I don't give a shit how cool these fucking people are and how beautiful girls are. I don't want to be here.
So I think you're in love with Poland, I would say.
Warsaw, specifically.
Have you been to
I've been everywhere.
Everywhere
I've been everywhere. But specifically, Warsaw is a very beautiful place, bro.
Okay. Since Warsaw is growing, and there's a lot of potential, especially for, let's say, people coming from Africa, different parts of the world. What areas would you say that it's ripe now to, let's say, invest in? This is not financial advice. I just want to pick up your brain a bit and see where I should also.
That's fine. But I'm really calculating. Just give me a second. What I was told several years ago by someone that I met, he said the greatest investment is people. And I didn't understand what he meant by that until I got a little bit, wiser, because I don't say older, but wiser. And I realized why the best investment is people is because I can go anywhere right now. And because I've made a relationship with these individual or this individual, my name, my face, my presence creates value. So if I create a company, or if I open a brand, or if I start a product, do you know what 100 of those people that I've invested in a relationship will do? They will invest in me.
Yeah.
They will buy what I'm doing because it's me, personal brand.
True.
But investment in the relationships around you is very important, bro. Can I convince you to do real estate? No, have no idea. Can I convince you cryptocurrency? Nope, don't give a shit. Can I convince you to do farmland? Nope. It's not our land. It's not our country. But what I can convince you to do, truly, is develop relationships. That is going to be more valuable for you in the future.
Yeah, especially relationship and networking, right? So
yeah, but you have to break down the word net and work. It's 2 words. Net, work. First one is net.
Yeah.
When you fish, you throw a net.
Yeah.
It's big, it's broad. But what makes it different is the work. What do you put into that situation with that person? I'm netting. I'm netting with you, bro. But what is the work that's involved?
True.
Because a lot of people network. I've been to these places, these business people, and I'm saying this as an artist, which is no disrespect to you guys who, wear suits and ties. Respect you. But I've been to these places, bro, and they're like, oh, we're networking, we're talking to each other. And I'm like, no, you're drinking and you're communicating, bro. You're not networking. It's 2 different things, okay? You're not networking. And then again, think about this. This is why I said as a writer, I'm teaching relation and ship. Relation is between an individual or a person or a thing. But the ship is the work. The ship can be rocky. Look at the word ship. Ship is what? A vessel on water. It's a motion. It deals with the involvement of you and an individual or something that relates to you. It takes work, bro. And in my opinion, it's more valuable.
True. Now, maybe what advice would you, let's say, give to somebody who wants to, let's start a network of friends to do something?
Now?
Yeah. I don't think it's too late. I think
no, it's not too late. It's never too late. My advice for anyone who wants to go out and start a network of friends: number 1, be honest with yourself, because when you meet other people, it's easier for someone else to actually appreciate or respect for you. It's easier for someone to appreciate or respect you for who you are if you do the same for yourself. If you're bullshitting and lying and trying to put on a front like, oh, I want to be this, then you're not, it's going to fade away. But if you're being yourself, you're going to find someone. The age of Aquarius is upon us. I don't mean to be too astrology. It sounds mad wide. What is he saying? He's a wizard. The age of Aquarius is upon us. What I mean by that is we're moving from the age of Pisces, which is a water sign. It's very emotional and it's also very motion. The age of Aquarius is community based. It's based on team. There's no more of that rock star shit, bro. Okay. We grew up in the past century where people were really famous and it was that one guy. For example, Jesus, all the way to who? Michael Jackson. Nowadays, the difference, what's going to be more powerful, especially against AI, that is our greatest enemy. I want y'all to remember that. Our greatest enemy is artificial intelligence. As humans, teamwork, family, community. That.
So, when you, let's say, maybe when you're planning a feature, right? Because since you network too, right? You mentioned you have a group of friends that you work, right? How do you decide?
But it gets to a point, bro. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it gets to a point where from networking, you start to magnetize. I don't need to go out and talk to people no more. I've developed myself. You come to me.
Okay. So maybe let's
when you text me on Instagram, you came to me, bro.
Yeah, true.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't need to network no more. We know each other.
Yeah. But what would you say, let's say, for upcoming people? Because I think for me, it's like, I got away with it a little bit because when I met my tight knit of friends, or let's say family now, we met like, 2 of them we met at the airport in Dubai. So from there we started talking.
Did you plan that?
No, it's
That's
just
the beautiful
happened.
part.
Right?
There you go.
Just happened.
That's the first part of it.
In Squid
you don't plan it.
It was very natural. It was
happens,
just natural. Then we saw each other and you knew like, oh man, I saw you, right?
God's gift, bro.
So for me, it's like I already had that tight knit of friends, right? But I've met a lot of people like when we go out to seem a bit isolated. They don't know how to approach people. They don't know how to network. They don't know how to make new friends or who can then translate to business partners, right? What advice would you give someone like that? Because trust me, there are a lot. Like
I know there is, but the only thing that I've learned from those kind of people is that they're just afraid, and I don't really know how to give a person who's afraid of living advice. I don't know how to give them any words of encouragement to make them be stronger with approaching life with authority. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not a talker. It doesn't matter if you're not handsome. It doesn't matter if you're not tall. It doesn't matter if you're not. It doesn't matter about none of the stuff that makes you think you should be in order for you to meet people. What's hard is really believing in yourself. Because I promise you, when you're in certain places and you believe in yourself and you try, something happens. But you just have to try. And it's very hard to try when you're afraid.
Yeah, I think a lot of people these days are more, let's say, afraid of failing than actually failing. If you see, because
Worse, they're not afraid of failing. They're afraid of people seeing them fail.
Yeah, the perception, yeah.
You got me, bro? Yeah. It's not failure, my nigga. Because we fail every day. For example, I might cook something and make a mistake. I might trip and fall. I might, I might even say a word wrong in another language. We fail all the time, every day. We're not afraid of failure. We're afraid of people seeing us fail. And if anyone wants to correct me, please do.
No, that's true. When I thought about it, I was like,
that's it.
If no one was there and I failed doing something and no one was there,
only you do.
I don't really care.
But did you fail?
No.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You learned. When you started walking as a kid, goo goo gaga.
You didn't care at all.
You didn't give a shit.
You fell, you got back up.
You went, you got picked up, you got back up, and you start walking again. Right?
True.
People are afraid of seeing other people seeing them fail. That's the hardest part. Oh, I don't want people to see me be a loser. Well, guess what? It's fun being a loser. You know why? Because when I get this trophy, bitch, you didn't expect it. It's like you thought I wasn't a champion. Ha ha. Nigga, I've been losing my whole life.
Also, just say, or we would say.
Am I allowed to curse on your podcast, bro? I didn't ask this question. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
My bad.
It's okay, man.
My fault, man.
No. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So, no advice for the people who are afraid. Just go do it.
I don't have advice. I'm sorry. It's just the world around us separates those people from each other, and you can't do anything but inspire. That's literally all you can do, bro. The content we're creating right now at this very moment, if you're watching this and you're one of those people who are afraid and you don't have the feeling to go out and meet people, and you do and you want to, I can't give you any advice. All I can tell you is to just go and try. Who cares? What are you gonna lose? You know why? Because we're still gonna die one day. Your mom is at home sleeping. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, get your ass up, bro, and go do something. There's no excuse.
No,
it's only you. It's the fear that you have in yourself that doesn't exist. The only thing that is existent is danger. Fear is up to you, bro.
And that's the advice. So, going a bit more about, let's say, just this inspirational message you just passed to the
I don't have the
audience.
inspirational
So,
not inspirational, bro. I'm just talking shit.
So how, we always grow, right? We need to ensure that we don't stay stagnant.
Yeah.
Right? So
or comfortable.
Or comfortable in your personal life, professional life, health, mentality. So, like, how do you ensure that your art is growing, your artistry is growing first? Then also in your personal life, how do you, let's say, ensure you don't stay stagnant?
You could say it's white girls' hair. Always white women, bro. There's hair everywhere. The reason I don't stay stagnant, and I'll be honest with you, it's not even a hunger and a desire to continue to grow. I think any natural creation of God on this planet has the feeling to continue, right? Because the only end is death.
Yeah.
And that's not even really the end. Listening to people, bro. You will never get bored if you meet people and listen to people. So let's say you don't have no friends, but you just take a walk and then you sit by a bus stop and you just listen to someone on a phone call. That's an example. You will always have a feeling of, wow, someone else exists. That story can be translated. Something about other people's existence, which means listening, allows you to feel, I'm here with them. What can I do? And I really believe that that is a genuine connection to human nature. People say they're depressed, and it's like, my nigga, yeah, but you're very lucky to be depressed, by the way. You know what I mean? At least you're not hungry. Like, there's people who are starving, my nigga, and you're depressed. High five, bro. I'm broke. You know what I mean? And you're depressed. My point is, when you're around other humans, bro, you start to see that nature is such an influence, bro. You can't not exist with all of the existence around us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true because
that's what I mean by inspiration. You said, what gives me the drive to continue to work and everything around me.
Especially when you meet people that are doing certain things that you want to do, that inspires you a lot because you see them in let's say you see them living, right? And you speak to them and you start to realize, wait, there is no much difference, if I put in this work, I'll be able to do that, So go outside, take a walk.
Just go.
Listen to meet more people.
Listen to the birds.
Just listen.
That's it. Existence, man. It'll push you to want to do something, and if it doesn't, hate to tell you, you're a loser. And you know what happens to losers? We get trophies. That's what we do. We wait and we get championships.
Okay, let's go a bit more into maybe a bit of more personal life, right?
Okay.
Are you currently in a relationship?
Yeah, I am in a beautiful relationship.
And how long have you been in your relationship?
If she watched this video, she'll kill me, my nigga. I don't remember. I think 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
I think 4.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna ask you questions that she might want you to know. Like,
she'll be alright.
Like when
I know how to fix that.
Like when you met her. When was the first day you guys met? Anniversary.
Valentine's, nigga. I met her on Valentine's, bro. Because we both agreed that we didn't want to celebrate it, and we ended up going out and enjoying ourselves, and we realized, actually, we had fun. We'll see each other again. But it was really cute because I wasn't in the mood of feelings.
Brilliant. And where did you guys meet? Was it?
We met in Warsaw.
Okay, but what was the occasion? Was it like just?
There was no occasion.
Just randomly.
It wasn't random either. That's the scariest thing, fam. It wasn't planned, and it wasn't like I was trying to holler at her, and it wasn't like she was like available. It was just a connection, conversation, a drink, a one night, and enjoy like taking a walk in the rain. Like it just all added up to, I like this one. I like this one.
And what was it? Let's say expression finding out that you're a music artist.
Her expression? Oh, she didn't know who I was. She didn't know. Yeah, she didn't know. She didn't even know I was famous, which is even funnier because she said, "Oh shit." We went to a club, and I was like, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you get in, my friends." I was like, She was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, you can do that for me, cool." Anyways, I think it was beautiful because she is an engineer, so without her really knowing, somehow her feminine energy was still balanced with her masculine energy because she has a master's degree. I never went to college, bro. I'm an autodidactos. And an autodactos is a person who studied and learned everything from life on his own. I've never been to school, but I know a lot of shit.
Yeah, I can hear your vocabulary too. Like I'm thinking I need to go start reading again.
You got to do it.
I need to
in order
start
to be
reading.
eloquent,
Yeah.
you need to read, especially for vocabulary.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that our relationship really began to develop when she saw me at a level of intelligence. Because what I learned about women who are smart, bro, they have a harder time than the girls who are beautiful.
Sure.
And those girls who are beautiful or pretty will never agree with me. They don't. You know why? Because they're not smart enough to fucking get it.
I've had experiences like that.
Thank you. So the smart women, what I mean by that is they are beautiful in a way. But what is harder for them is they're not against men. They don't hate the world, but they see things and they get things in a way that makes them a threat. And a lot of guys don't like smart women, bro. Because a lot of guys are fucking idiots. I want you to do this for me. Like a lot of guys are just like, you know, they want to just make me food. Make me food.
You know, this
give me
pose,
sex. Make me food.
This pose.
It's not Polish. It's African niggas too. Fuck that.
No, I didn't say Polish. I said this pose. It's universal.
This pose?
Yeah, this
pose
pose
everywhere, bro. It's everybody.
universal.
Oh, you know, even gangsta niggas. Hey, yo, what up, shorty? Hey, yo, what's up? What you doing? H-U-A.
Yeah, it's universal.
Where are you going? Why are you running?
Why are you running?
Why are you running? It's universal.
It's universal.
My point is, the women who are smart have a harder time because they get overlooked. And when you really get to look into a woman's mind and they appreciate you, it's very valuable, my nigga. And the only men who get that opportunity are the ones who aren't overly handsome or overly confident or not overly confident. Yes, overly confident. The ones who aren't cocky, the ones who aren't doing like this overly, it's not toxic masculinity, but it's illusion masculinity. It's like, bro, you're not a real man. You're trying to be. You're a bum. You're not even a loser, bro. Like, you're trying. A real man is someone who's continuously developing himself in order for him to give value to his existence around him. And when you find a woman who does that with you, you become a better man.
Sure.
Simple.
You know, when you were talking about, let's say, overly confidence, I think a lot of men feel maybe being confident is being a man, but I think that confidence has to come
but you have to, bro.
From capacity. I mean, building capacity, building yourself as a man, then you get that confidence. It doesn't just come because you're a man. You need to do something. You
gotta do something.
You need to have a body of work in order to be confident, you know, about that.
But that's why I was saying the overly confident is, for example, you get a fast car, or you know, you do steroids, or you show off in some ways. Because the thing is, our society is always going to, it's always going to look at the surface. And if you can trick everyone to be, if you can trick everyone to value your surface long enough, you can actually win. It's a game. You can win, bro. You can.
You can, of course.
You don't have to even be good at anything. But if you can trick everyone with your cockiness and your confidence, some people will believe in you. But the real ones, on the other hand, will be like, yeah, I see you, bro. Whatever. You can have it. Have fun, bro. Your girlfriend, I see her with her pump lips and her fake ass and her, you can have it, bro. I'm not judging. Everyone can do what they want to do. But I see what you need. You need that confidence because you're obviously very insecure.
Yeah, you know, I think those who are, let's say, putting this facade can only go this far, because at the end of the day, the real ones know, you know. We know who is working harder than...
But if we didn't have fake ones, who would the real ones know who we are? So we need people to do that.
Yeah, true.
And I think in natural sense, as human beings, some souls come back to experience life the way they want to. And some souls come back because they need to do what they need to do. Not everyone is here for the same reason. Let some people live in a dream.
The delusion, the
Let
matrix.
them have an illusion, bro. It's an
Let
illusion.
them live in the matrix.
Why not, bro? It's beautiful. It's possible. Have fun. Do it.
So we're just picking up from the last topic we're having about relationships. So I want to ask, how do you, let's say, maintain the business side of life and relationship? Because for myself, I'll speak from experience, right? When I was in a relationship, and that was the time I was really getting into my career, I found it super difficult to allocate time, to spend with my girl. I know that was on my part. So how do you balance yours?
Me and my lady have goals that we create together. That's the best part. When you can find a partner, whether it's, romantic relationship or even friends. I'm very lucky that the people around me, as I said before, allow me to be myself to the point where we are having fun doing what we love to do. So it's always work and pleasure in a way.
And she works a 9 to 5?
Yeah, she has a job.
Okay. So just
A high level job, actually.
What does she do? If you don't mind me asking.
I don't remember, man. I think logistics engineer or something like this.
Okay, something in that field. Okay, great. Then let's.
She watches this and she says that I don't know.
No, I got your back. He knows. He told me backstage.
Shit.
He told me backstage, So let's go a bit now. Let's say a bit to your future. Do you plan on settling down? Because I see.
What do you mean by settling down, bro?
Finally, let's say married, kids, like settling down.
I'll be honest with you, fam. There's two different versions of settling down. Even if you have kids and you have a wife and you have a house and you have all those things, you're not technically settled if you're in a relationship that continues to grow and develop, especially with the future that you want to create for you and your family. The other version is, all right, I've done everything I can. I can't do more. Let's just stay where we are and let's raise children. And I appreciate and respect people who can do that because I can't. My son is 9 years old at this very moment, and I still have contact with him and his mother. But the beautiful thing is, even if we're not together in a relationship, we co-parent. And I really, really appreciate the fact that she trusts me and I trust her for us to both be in conversation and communication to figure out how we can make sure his future and our children's future is what they're going to be. So again, whatever relationship you're in that is romantic, you want to find a way to really communicate with each other. What is your goals? Because for some people, it's just getting a house, getting married, and that's the final. But for the real visionaries, that's not the final. That's only the beginning. That's just the start. That's a starting point, bro. Once you get married and once you settle down, you're not really settled down. You still got more to do after that.
Yeah, that's true.
But for some people,
settling down,
that's it.
Yeah, I think there is always this perception that.
So will I ever settle down? No. Nope. Can't.
No house, cars, swimming pool.
Nope, don't even have a
barbecue
car.
on the Saturday afternoon. No.
I'll do it.
Do it.
But I won't.
Okay. So you mentioned you have a son. Do you see, let's say, what are the fears, let's say, you have for the future, especially nowadays where society is taking a different approach of life, all right? I don't want to get into the specifics, but like from the Western world, we know that it's now, having a kid, you need to be more, let's say, attentive, especially with what they are teaching, right? So do you have any such fears?
My son is homeschooled, bro.
Oh.
So I don't have those fears.
Oh.
And if I was to answer the question based on fear, the only fear I have is that my son begins to think he needs to prove himself to a society that doesn't match his value. Because I remember being at that level in my life where I thought I needed to do things to make people like me or appreciate me or value me before I even did that for myself. So again, just being in
being in the honest communication with your friends, your family, or your children, and your partner, or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're really continuing to grow and learn new things, then
Yeah, that was very deep, because you mentioned that you don't want him to have that belief that he needs to prove to society that doesn't value his own values, right?
Yeah.
So then, what values would you want to impact in him then? Like, as a man, as you know, as an artist, as a father, what, let's say, values you'd want him to clearly understand as he's growing up? Because you yourself are a very driven person. You know what you need to do and you do it, right? So what are some of the values you want him to have growing up?
Well, we can go back to the point of me saying that I want him to remember to believe in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, not delusional. Remember the point in the conversation when we brought up the confidence comes from the fact that you've put in the work to gain that ability to be confident. You've done something to be able to believe. But values, I think I can't say. I can only show. Yeah, man, I can't say.
Because so maybe if I reverse this,
my values are still being learned. I can't always guarantee that I know exactly what my values are. I can feel them and I can, be aware of them. It's just that for me to sit here and list them to you, I'd be lying. I would.
Or let's say the key value. Maybe if we turn the question around and say, what key values did you learn from your own dad growing up that you still have now?
I didn't meet my father until I was 18, bro.
Okay.
So my values I learned from my mother, and again, one of them is you can do it on your own.
You can do it on your own.
You can believe in yourself, and anything is possible.
Yeah, I think people always underestimate, those type of values put in, especially when you're young, when you're told that believe in yourself, you can do it, you can achieve if you try. These days they're not being taught as they used to be back then, because I remember my dad telling me certain things as I was growing up, and nowadays when I meet people, they don't have the same drive. Yep. I'm like, but I thought, that not
everybody has
so
and you can't expect them to.
Yeah.
You can inspire, but that's it.
That's it.
That's it, bro. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. Come on, man. That's how it works.
So, what would you say if your son wanted to go into music?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Nope, I don't want him to. I don't want my son to do anything I do.
At all?
Nope, not really. I want him to do it as a hobby, but I want him to be better and do his own thing.
Okay, maybe if we are thinking...
I'm not doing anything my mother and father is doing. I'm doing what I wanted to do. So I want him to do what he chooses to do. I don't want him to be like me. At all.
At all.
Nope.
But I think there's certain parts that you'd want him to aspire to, like the belief in yourself, because I know in your music you do push that. From the little I've listened to. Today I'm gonna try to listen to more of your art. Yeah, but I see that you do, well, not directly, but maybe indirectly, you do push this message of self-development, self-empowering.
Question everything.
Yeah, so
learn, continue to grow. Yeah.
But you would want him to have something, in those areas too, because you mentioned that you want him
I think he would naturally. That's what I'm saying. Leading by example, you already show that there's a possibility for this individual to see that they can do it if you've done it. If I tell them, which most parents don't realize, they're always telling their children to do something, but it's very hard for us as kids to listen to our parents tell us to do something that they didn't do. It's like I love my mother and I love my father, but could you imagine them telling me to go to school and they didn't? It's very difficult, because it's like, how are you telling me to do something but you didn't conquer it? Why would I? Like, it's very hard. Parents don't realize. I know they're telling their children out of love and out of what they've seen and their experience, but they've limited themselves to a vision of what their children should be because of what they missed. Let your child be what it wants to be. Let it grow and develop based on what you've shown it or what you've proven. Take care of it. Give it love. Do all those things that you know are very valuable from what you might have missed or what you know you needed as a child. Give it that. And then let it have its opportunity. You can't control people. That's the weird thing. Parents don't realize that. You can't force your child to do something you want it to do. It's not yours anyways.
It's not your life, you know.
It's not your life.
You know, because from where I'm from, like Nigeria, like I know a lot of friends who have college degrees that after they graduated,
They're not happy.
they took it and gave it to their parents and say, "This is yours. I'm going to start my life."
I think that's actually kind of beautiful in a way, because then if those individuals need to give something to their parents, we have to remember as young men, our parents did their best to make sure that we conquered the world. So if they have to push us to do things, that's their way of saying, hey, I love you. I want you to be better than I could have been. That's what they're saying.
True.
So if you have to go give them a degree, that degree is saying to your mom, look, your love helped me get this way. Father, your discipline helped me get this. This is for you. But then again, the children or the child or us, we have to learn, when do we do something for ourselves? We can't do everything for the family and the parents. We can't do everything for them, bro.
True. I think there need to be a discussion of, like, for kids. I know kids always have ideas and plans to say, I want to do this. And parents are like, you don't really know what you want yet, so just go on this track. But once you get to a level where...
Yeah, but they're right. I'm 32. I didn't know what I wanted to do 10 years ago.
But I think once you get to a level where you have actually shown a body of work, right, and you're shown your interest, they should be fully aligned, because then you are starting from that point and raising yourself maybe in whatever industry you want to be in, rather than spending 4 years in college, studying something that you don't really want to, and then giving the certificate away, then starting what you want to do.
Bro, what's the most valuable thing we have in this life?
Family.
Close. Starts with a T.
Time.
My guy. He pointed at the watch. It's time.
True.
If you spend those 8 years for a degree, for your parents, those 8 years are not yours no more.
Yes,
you got to find a balance. You have to.
True. So this was the point I was, trying to get to. So maybe let's move down towards, what you're currently doing today. Let's say your current state.
About to go to sleep. No, I'm finishing a project that is incorporating AI with Gothic gospel, divine drill, and voodoo trap.
Oh.
The album is called Necromantic, and I'm releasing it June 3rd.
June 3rd, nice.
Yep. It's coming out this year.
When you said voodoo, I was like, yeah, I need to get on that track, because from my place, voodoo music is super popular. Or we call it juju.
Juju.
Yeah,
exactly.
we call it juju.
It's still spiritual.
Yeah, it's still spiritual.
There you go. Gothic gospel. Still spiritual.
I need to get on that
Divine drill. When I listen to drill music, it's like, the streets of the folk come up, and like they're talking about things that are in a dark place, but I took the sound and the vibration of that darkness and made it into a more divinity version of spirituality. Like, I'm saying things that are more valuable to the listener rather than creating the story that I've heard several times from people who have guns in the streets and selling drugs. No disrespect to those guys. They're telling their story. I love that. And the music is actually cool. It really is. It vibes. But what's different? When you actually share with people knowledge and the same sound. And I found a way to do that, bro.
Any, let's say, features that
Nope.
you can nothing just
Now?
debate. Any features like you're working on with this that you can share?
Features?
On the album.
You mean me rapping now?
No, not now. Like
Features as in people?
Yeah, because you mentioned
features.
No features, just pure, just.
It's only me.
Just you. Okay.
Everything is me,
just
bro.
me.
I got producers though. My homie who's a Polish producer, his name is Timona, and then another homie. I think, damn, sorry Taylor, TC Taylor Cut. My brother. I don't remember where he's from in Africa, but he's in Poland, and he's also a producer. And then I have another Russian homie who gave me a beat 5-6 years ago, and that's what I mean by the development of artistry. Now I produced this song, and now it makes sense to release. But if I released it when he gave it to me, it wouldn't make sense. Everything takes time.
Yeah.
All the good things really take development. Be patient with yourself. Whatever you're doing, business, art, it doesn't matter, bro. Don't rush. I know time is valuable, and that is something that makes us think we need to move fast. But the truth is, anything that lasts long still takes time to develop. I mean, I don't think the pyramids was built overnight.
That's true. So I was listening to one of your song featuring, I think it was Migos, and it was
Migos?
not Migos. It's Migos. I've forgotten the name, but
He was a producer.
Was it producer X Migos? It was called Legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy. All right.
Gotta live a legacy. Yeah.
So leave a legacy.
Yeah.
So what legacy would you want, let's say, to leave when you look back, at your music career and be like, yes, I accomplished what I wanted to.
I think being a pioneer, because a lot of the sounds that you hear that I've produced and created, I experiment with what I'm able to develop from what we know as hip hop or jazz or my influences of different sounds of music. And I still haven't, man, you have no idea, bro. I'm just getting started, bro. That's the funny thing. I promise everybody who's listening or who really appreciates my art, I'm just getting started, bro. You know what's really hard as an artist to do is to have capital to produce what you want to do. Everyone's like, oh, but you could just do it in the house and on the phone. I was like, yeah. But quality and my vision for it is not limited to what we have available. No. There's one album that I have. It's a movie, bro. I'm not going to release it yet. But it's a movie. But I need money to produce the movie. So I'm patient. I wait.
Okay. So many more things to for you.
For sure, bro.
Great. And so, Bluemantic, it's been wonderful to to hear from you. But before we go, would you like to plug in your social so people can also go check out your music?
Follow me at thebluemantic, TheBlumantic on Instagram. And to be really honest with you, if you're following this channel right now, the Ivory Men, you're in a good place, and you don't even realize that your future is about to change if you pay attention and witness the knowledge and the gems that have been given to you, especially if you value who you are. The second thing about myself, all you got to do is Google me, my nigga. Like, my resume's online, B. Google is my friend. I've done so much work. You just got to Google The Bluemantic. That's it. I'm everywhere.
I think maybe we would also drop in your Instagram.
I did all that. I did.
I'll drop it in the description. Yeah, because it's been an honor having you.
Thank you, bro.
Here. All right, so guys, thanks for watching the Ivory Man. Please subscribe, type a comment, and give us a like.
For sure.
And peace out.
Peace.